is the Oakland-Fukuoka Sister City Garden. It was initiated by a gift from Japan, and it is essentially a shrine to friendship between the two cities, Oakland, California, Fukuoka in Japan. Notably, our feature piece is a 20-foot vermilion red shrine gate called a torii. It being both a marker and a portal to a recreation experience. Some would call it recreation, some would call it spiritual. So it's both a marker and a portal. Maybe you start out just as a visitor to the gardens of Lake Merritt, then maybe you say, I want to get involved, and you're, maybe just hoeing weeds or digging holes. But if you stick around, as I did, you work your way up through the ranks, learning the skills, and the next thing you know, you're in charge. And that is the case. I manage this garden site here, the Oakland-Fukuoka Sister City Garden, which is one of the distinct gardens that make up the gardens of Lake Merritt. Well, as I said,
you are a volunteer.
Yeah, that's right. I am a volunteer.
Yeah. People don't understand that.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. Yeah, because if you swagger around here and look busy, you must be an employee. Yeah, in the gardens of Lake Merritt. Since 1994, once again, starting with the Merritt College Aesthetic Pruning Club, which is, by the way, very unique in the world. But, we had a volunteer leader. It was not college faculty at all. My teacher was just taking a class in arboriculture up at the college, and they recruited him to run a lab, and those people said, we're hungry for your knowledge, can you do more? And the park supervisor here at Gardens of Lake Merritt at the time, he said, Dennis, we need your help. We had to lay off all our gardeners. So our club got started down here at the little garden behind the garden center, and the club just kept attracting more people. And when Dennis had built up a sufficient organization in the Merritt College Aesthetic Pruning Club, he said, I have very important teaching for you, is that you take up a quest and you give 100%, and you hit your peak and you get a lot done, and all the while you're training your replacements. So after several years of leading our group, he moved on to another glorious task. He divvied up his kingdom amongst his heirs, and it fell to me to run some of the other project sites which Dennis had formerly led us at. So you can start out knowing nothing, and bit by bit you become an intermediate, and as soon as you do, you're in charge of a novice. And it fell to me to run some of the other project sites which Dennis had formerly led us at. Anyway, one of those was the Northern California bonsai garden, and it had a landscape element, and shortly I assumed leadership there. Actually, I was in my third year at the bonsai garden and looking to leave on a high note, remembering Dennis's life teaching. And just at that time, the Oakland-Fukuoka group said, we like you, and we'd like you to be our garden lead. And they said, we're going to build a garden in Japan. And that led to maybe one of the most extraordinary adventures of my life. For the next 15 months, being involved, being the lead, I would say, garden designer for the project in Fukuoka, and traveling to Japan 3 times. And that's where I get a lot of my street credibility, right? I trained with Dennis. He's known internationally now. Oh, I worked overseas. I must be hot stuff. And then after I came back from Fukuoka, they said, well, you're not done yet. Can you help us develop a garden here in Oakland? So now I serve as sort of the, you know, the lead instructor and, you know, brains behind this effort at capital improvement, entirely with volunteer labor, I might add. After you master a craft, you're like, if you value that craft and you think it has wider value to the society, you want to promulgate it. So you want to share what you know with others in an inspirational way. How are you going to do that? You empower them to inspire. Today, I'm showing university students how to, you know, excavate a trench, you know, and sneak pipe underneath tree roots. It is the centerpiece. It's at the crossroads of this garden. You see all these circles for trees and all these polygons for stones. Here's the ponds, there's the water. So this is kind of like this whole game plan for improving our little area. This here, the Oakland-Fukuoka Garden, is exciting because it's still being created. So if you're an all-arounder, you want to learn how to build a garden and you want to learn how to foster it from, let's face it, a tree that's 3 feet tall isn't very interesting, but it's going to become larger. And if you want to learn how to guide it into a glorious form, this is a good garden to start in, because we'll be planting. We have a lot of trees, shrubs, ground cover, all to go in. And we've got some very old trees that are starting to fall down, and we have plans to replace those as well. And follow through. So we had some ambitions for planting up here, like, you know, the sunny spot would have grass and maple trees, and the shady spot would have some kind of forest herbs underneath, and some more smaller trees, all grouped around the big tree and the line of trees. I've got hip waders. I go in the pond now and then so that I can better prune the tree that hangs over it, or the trees that grow along the edge of it. We have not only koi fish, goldfish, ducks, turtles, tree frogs, lots of tree frogs. Yeah, I just want to put in a plug for experiential education. We all nod off with books and video conferences and all that sort of stuff. You can learn a lot in an inductive manner through your hands, but your hands are linked to your brain and your understanding. And don't forget recreation. So this is a golden opportunity right in the heart of Oakland for all those things.